Next.
Oh, wow. That was nice.
That was fancy.
Yeah.
I liked it. Good stuff. I mean, that intro already. Like, holy cow. That intro is sick. Is it better than the show some weeks?
No. Because you do the intro, Craig.
No, I mean, just I loved the video. The video was so good. All the sharp cuts, and, like the ball, and then it goes into the throw in. Like, damn.
Craig is a pod listener. That's
I am.
Pod listener right there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll work on something for CHROMANIACS. It's I'll work on cooking some things.
I think it's so good. It's really, really good. I'm quite impressed.
You don't know how giddy that makes me. It's for the breathers. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, I usually, you guys pop into my phone. That's how I usually listen to Two Balls and a Mic. It drops into me little phone app. So now seeing that, I'm just I'm excited. I'm titillated. I'm happy to be here. Gentlemen, it's good to see you. Abe, it was good to see you at Bottle Rocket.
Yes. That was a fun night.
Yeah.
Forget about the next day, but that was a fun
That
Wednesday.
game was a good one. Game 2 was a good day. Wednesday night was a good night. Or good day, I guess, for Padres baseball, and the rest shall not be said. And here we are with SDFC. Gentlemen, it's great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Real Swing and Friar, we just World Cup credentials was something we'll talk about in a couple of weeks. Just that date is coming, and that's why we started this podcast to begin with. But for right now, San Diego FC is the main story that we are covering here. And with that, let's talk some San Diego FC with, I wonder if Craig like maybe hears this, but no, there's intros too. Bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, normally when I hear that, I just think like you stole something from Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego or something. It sounded like some PBS action music.
That's exactly where he would try and like look for and find that.
It's
that
actually
stuff.
it's actually the main theme song for Metal Gear Solid 1. Sneaky, tactical. You guys are on the right. Everything that I play has a reason that makes me giggle to me, and I never explain it to anybody. So here it is. I love this. But San Diego FC going away for the penultimate time over into Houston, a revenge game. This is essentially maybe what exposed a little bit of San Diego FC to begin with, and they had a couple of rough bumps from then on. But they go over and win 4-2 in a match that, we were talking about in the CHROMANIACS guys and just talking about it in general, like it was a must win. It was a must win for San Diego FC, big picture wise. And what did you guys think about just the overall lineup to even begin with for San Diego FC, which, started not Pellegrino, and Corey Baird made an appearance up there.
We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks to see kind of a little bit of a change up top with Corey Baird. He kind of provides you a little bit of a different look for Houston, and someone that Houston is actually familiar with. So that was a good change. And then what we've seen consistently out of the midfield is Valakari in there, Yepe and Godoy. It kind of seems like that's the new normal now of with Luca De La Torre on the bench. And you know what, the back line was kind of interesting. The McNair out and Dua was in, and I think that might have worked a little bit better than but McVay was like the consistent of didn't have the best of games, but you don't know that when you're preparing a lineup. And but it's good to see Dua still in there in a center back role.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think we all said we'd like to see Corey Baird get a start. And so I was very curious to see if he would create that gravity in the 9 position. And, generally the answer was no. And other than that, I thought it was of interest, Vasquez not playing and also seeing that Dua got that start at center back again. But I figured that was in part rotation and in part performance. He's been really, really good almost every time he's been there.
Yeah, and I think Aiden Harangui's kind of proving himself also as a solid backup. I know you don't have Luca Bombino right now, and you kind of just need an outside back out there, and he's been performing pretty well. I think he had some really, really good defensive moments as well.
Yeah, and I mean, even to begin with, right? Like we were talking about how San Diego FC needed to get up early and needed to score early in the first 15 minutes. Houston actually had been giving up a lot of goals, and they kind of put the Uno reverse card on it and score within the first 15 minutes against San Diego FC. And I actually texted the group. I'm like, hey, so like, what does it mean when they score in the first 15 minutes? What does the playbook say there? But look, Houston in a must-win situation, and you can feel it, which I like because this is a real playoff atmosphere for San Diego FC and Mikey Varas. This is a real test. And to go away, to go and, potentially have that in the back of the mind of the greatest expansion team of MLS in history, that has to be factored in there as well. So overall, I think it was a great performance in the way that they were able to bounce back, but that first half was a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, it was. It was. It's difficult when you can't. It looked like everything was kind of going to plan, especially in like the first 15 minutes. The flow, which is a double entendre there, right? That's what they like to be known. Everything was flowing as it should, right? The ball was going from back line to the midfield, out to the front line, but they just couldn't finish. They weren't really getting shots off in the first 15. And then all of a sudden, once you're kind of put back into a corner, that's when Houston kind of turned it on. The high press came on, and that's when everything got really disrupted. So I was actually kind of surprised that Houston didn't try to do that more. But like when they did, it did feel like, yeah, the pressure was on, and San Diego really didn't have a great answer for what Houston was doing.
Boy, it's so true. Just overall, the way that the club is handling the press, it wasn't just this game. It hasn't just been those couple of mistakes that were made. It's been a pretty regular tactic, and I would imagine it would be a tactic that any club that trails SDFC would use to try and get right back into it in a hurry, because even Dos Santos, he's okay with his feet, but he's not great. And so many times, even on the non-dramatic turnovers, SDFC puts their keeper in at least a little bit of peril, at least a little bit of a pickle, and asks him to make a very quick decision and be quick with his feet and be accurate with the distribution. And when it doesn't happen, it's usually some issues in the final third. So stuff to tighten up, to be sure.
Absolutely. And that too, this is a greatest hits of what San Diego FC has been this game. They've felt pressure. They've been able to control the tempo. They've been able to be aggressive. They've been able to be dynamic on offense, but also those challenges presented themselves of not being able to score, creating, but not being able to cash in that check. And they're right there. They're at the bank, man. They're in the queue. They're next up. This the decision that turns everything around after the first half. Chucky comes out. Mikey Varas post-match did say that was a tactical decision. Not an injury, not a numbers, that was a tactical decision to put Pellegrino in for Chucky Lozano. Pellegrino comes on, and we've seen what he's been recently, and what ends up happening is he's very, very instrumental in the offense moving forward from this moment, starting with this penalty call. Let the Pellegrino apology tour begin. Craig, where are you on that? Or Abe, go for it.
I mean, I think Mikey Varas has been using Pellegrino very selectively. He was starting him in these last couple matches and kind of letting him develop and get this chemistry with these teammates. And at first, it's kind of like, okay, there's not really much there. He's not putting great shots. It's just like I think you guys were calling him a tronco these last couple games, but in this game he looked just so comfortable out there, was drawing important fouls like this, making the perfect pass at times, and just being an important body out there, not just a tronco. He's like involved at so many different levels, and I guess that's something that Lozano wasn't able to do in this game, and that's why Mikey Vadas decided to make this move. And I think I would love to talk to Lozano and see what his thoughts are on it, just because it's like you presume, like, okay, your designated player taking him out at halftime when you're down 1-0. That sounds like a crazy decision, but it was gutsy and it ended up working out perfectly.
Pellegrino was maybe thinking he was fighting for his roster spot going forward. I don't think it's unfair to say that his performances when he was in the lineup were disconnected, and they felt low energy. It didn't feel like he was making a decisive impact on the field. By contrast, he comes in at the half. He doesn't have to leave anything in the tank. So maybe he had on one level a minutes restriction advantage of saying, okay, I've got this half, I'm going to go as hard as I can. And then put on top of that the added motivation of I'm on this great team and I could be off it and sent out as soon as the under 20 kids come back. I might be gone and Vasquez might take my role. So he came out with absolute fire and honestly played an outstanding match, the kind of match that makes you think that we found a 9 again. But what I more think of is this is the back half now of the Ingvartsen puzzle piece. If you can get Ingvartsen back, you never think you could get him back for 90 minutes. But if you could get him back for a half, and then you can bring in Amal Pellegrino for a half, all of a sudden it feels a lot stronger for San Diego FC at the 9.
Yeah, you're right, Craig. Do we need? Yeah, we're not going to see Ingvartsen play 90 like right off the bat, not even in playoffs. And having someone cover those minutes on the back half, that'd be great. I think we've been calling for that for a while. I think this is just a better rotation than having Pellegrino start, because when you're starting, you're thinking like, hey, this team, you never know what happens. Injury might happen, or head coach might say, hey, I got to take some other guys out. You're thinking that maybe I have to play these 90 minutes and have to like really use my energy for 90 minutes. Well, instead, Pellegrino used all his energy for 45 minutes, and it was incredible. It's the best we've seen in a very long time out of that front line, and we got more goals out of it than I expected. It was more than 2. It was a great night for Pellegrino. He was involved in all of them, and that's really great to see. And I saw the comments from San Diego. Well, first from San Diego FC fans calling him Alexander Isaac, which was actually pretty cool. And then and then on the San Jose side, they were like, "Where did this come from? Where did this production come from?" He ends up with 2 assists and a goal. Just incredible.
Do you guys really think this is sustainable though? I hadn't thought about this during the game. I think I was kind of just like, wow, this is incredible. They did kind of find their 9, but as I think about it now, this is just one match that we've seen this kind of performance. Is this just a Houston thing, or do you think that you saw enough that he could perform like this against Portland and then potentially in the playoffs?
Well, 7 of SDFC's goals have come against Houston. So I think that says a lot about Houston. I need to see it again. I remember the game that Valakari went off for a couple of goals. It didn't turn him into Alex Morgan all of a sudden. He went back to not scoring goals. So I need to see more. But the biggest difference for me, guys, was the energy. Like it just felt like Pellegrino was drifting around, and it's unfair to him, but that's what it felt like his first 3-4 times on the pitch for SDFC. In this match, he was purpose. He had a fire underneath him, and honestly, easily unselfish plays. along the way as well. That was a lovely trap down to the weirdly vertically running Luca de la Torre there.
That was like the weirdest celebration of the year, right?
It was like a wet noodle celebration, like the
Yeah.
most for a celebration. If I can encapsulate Luca de la Torre in a celebration, it's arms to the side and like emotionless, and here's my slide.
So weird. I'm sure that's a thing that someone's done somewhere that I just haven't seen. And I got to give him credit for that. But that also good on Luca. We've been hard on Luca. You know, bullying works apparently. But you know, Luca de la Torre came off the bench and made an immediate impact by just being in the right place at the right time for San Diego FC.
Let's call bullying's a little strong. Let's call this offense shaming. How about that? It's just
Don't kink shame my lack of offense. What? No, we are.
And I think, you know, I may have to disagree a little bit about a lovely touch in order to assist to Luca, because that's where like you know, it's just the aesthetics of it. I'm like, come on, dude, like trap it. He gets it. The job done. 100%. That's just a me thing. Me, and I understand haterade 100%, but just tighten it up.
Every time I watch that, I laugh though.
There is a version of this where a better defender comes in and clears that out. And so that's the thing. My take on that is that the positioning is there, the finishing is there. Now we can see that you have the capacity to score and get in these dangerous positions. But I think I'm with you, Craig. Need to see it again. Need to see more of it. But also good to see all of the substitutions for Mikey Varas being not only important but decisive in the victory and every single goal in the second half for SanDiego FC.
And that's exactly what you need when you're making a playoff run. And there's going to be times where someone's just not having a good game. You might need to take off Chucky Lozano in the 45th minute in a playoff game because you need to win that game. And people would look at you as crazy for putting on Pellegrino, but it's really gutsy out of Mikey Varas. And I don't think it's something that we would have seen early on in the season.
Yeah, because immediately 87th minute, you give the goal back, right? So this is the sense of MLS. Like, yes, the victory and the lead is going to be short and it's fleeting sometimes. And exactly this, a Houston that ties it up 2-2, and then MLS is MLSing because then you come back in the 89th minute, and you know this one I'll give Pellegrino excellent decision making. That was good.
That was a great read. There's so many times where you see someone like just take the shot because they're like, we got to take the shot here, but no, you dump it off. You give the extra pass to Dreyer, who had a great lane right there to score. So, very, very well read by Pellegrino, and it was interesting just to see his like progression like throughout that half where, like he was mostly like all the defenders were pretty much on him. Like they were kind of running in stride with him, but in that final goal, probably because like Houston just gave up, but he outran his man and he actually, took it an extra gear there, which was really good to see because, I honestly thought this was like an old man like running out there, but it's like, oh, you have an extra gear you could probably take late in this game. That's good. So hopefully we get to see that and against a team that's not so desperate as Houston was, who really was trying to get 3 points.
That's right.
Home, because they have to win in order to stay, within the playoff race. And for Olsen, his job's on the line. So they were playing a little bit more desperate than San Jose was a week ago.
No, that's such an important point, Alex, because a draw wasn't going to help Houston at all. So they were continuing when they got that mistake and they got the Santos goal. That was just step one for them. Step two was to go get a third goal and get a lead. And as a result, they did not lock down defensively. And then you see SDFC put on two more late. But, that ties back to the question about Pellegrino and have we found our nine? And is this a new day? And we say, no, hang on, turn the page, wait for the next match, because Portland is not going to be playing like that They're not going to be throwing everyone forward, saying we got to have 3 points. A tie isn't enough. They're going to be a team that is going to put the pressure on you to create, and it's not going to be wide open like this. Obviously this is the end of the game when they're all spread out and tired, and they're pressing for their equalizer again. But the space isn't going to be there in the playoffs either, unless you get into a specific situation. So still work to be done for SDFC in terms of consistency of quality in the final third.
Yeah, I completely agree. And there's another dress rehearsal for this. This is a game where you have a playoff atmosphere. You have a team playing for their life, and you can tune up and see different sides of some players, right? You kind of see now what you have in Corey Baird as a starter, right? That gives you sort of an idea of what you have there. Moving into Portland with a more clairvoyance in terms of supporter shield, in terms of, what you're actually going to be playing for, what position from here on out. You don't control your destiny. So now it really is a matter of get your 3 points and, just try to go ahead and move forward with that. Like that's the only goal against Portland in 2 weeks after this international break.
It would be very insane if they end up in second place and they have the potential to stay in second place. Portland stays in seventh place, and then they'd be playing each other in the playoffs against. It could be up to 4 straight matches against each other.
Oh my gosh.
It's just insane.
Imagine the yellow cards. The animosity will be growing.
For Portland, like real quick, they need a point to kind of stay in that 7th spot. If somehow Dallas wins and Portland loses, it's going to be up to goal differential to determine that tiebreaker between Dallas and Portland. That means if Portland wants to at least stay out of that wild card play-in game, they have to at least tie. And Dallas, Dallas can do whatever, but Portland kind of controls their own destiny there. It will be a little bit of a fight from Portland to try to remain in the 7th spot.
So with Chiva somewhere in a bus in Japan, asking what seat does San Diego end up in?
I mean, it's probably 2, right? If Vancouver does their part, it's probably 2. Vancouver has to stumble for it to be 1 at this point because they've got that extra match in hand. So they kind of have to, either don't win another game along the way, and then San Diego wins at Portland, or lose both their matches and San Diego ties at Portland. Those are the 2 ways to get to number 1. But with 2 bites of the apple, you like it for the Whitecaps. You like their situation, and it would set up for SD in the 2, and that's not a terrible place to be. It's a fine place to be. Although if it does wind up against a veteran club like Timbers, that's a very interesting draw in an opening round.
Oh, here comes a new challenger loading up from literally a bus in Japan. Wow. Technology, right? It's insane. Hi, Chiba. How are thank you. Trees are green over there too. Are we just being polite because you're on transport? Okay, sounds good.
There's also the possibility of LAFC ending up above San Diego. They have 3 games in hand right now, so technically they also control their own destiny in putting San Diego out of that number 1 spot, which would be interesting. I think they could also just get the 7 points and then maybe be winning on goal differential as well. So there's a chance they end up in 3rd place. 3rd place ends up playing 6th place. That'll end up all weird, but I would just guess probably 2nd place is where San Diego ends up.
Man, I'm going to be the optimistic one and say that LAFC and Vancouver can't catch up, and San Diego ends up with the 1st place Western Conference. And just because that LAFC will be without Sun and Boanga against Toronto and Austin, and they play both games this week. The first one on Wednesday.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, because Without those two, that's basically what, like 70% of their goals or whatever.
Yeah, and Boanga actually scored the game winner late last night. So if it wasn't for that, they would have just ended up tying a draw against Atlanta United. And for Vancouver, they play on Saturday against Orlando City. They're also kind of in the same spot as Timbers, where they're in the 7th spot. They want to stay above that, and their final match is against FC Dallas, who's gonna be gunning for a win. And yeah, so Vancouver can't be like, well, we're just gonna back off. Yeah, they're gonna have a pretty big fight, on decision day with Dallas. So I think, yeah, if LAFC or Vancouver kind of drop, they end up with a loss in one of these matches. I think that's it. That's pretty much it, really. I think you can, and on top of that, San Diego FC still has to win, which on the road in Portland, I'll take SDFC on with that. So a lot of factors, but I'm going to remain optimistic and say we finish this out with the top spot.
Extending their record-breaking season already, because that's not just the narrative, that's just the fact of the matter now. Abraham Lopez 3rd place, and we will still we'll qualify for CONCACAF Champions. That is very, very true. That's a big tournament here with CONCACAF, literally the Champions League of CONCACAF. But with that, it's a fact of the matter. How does it hit the ear? And we'll get to hear what Mikey Vadas also believes about that. That San Diego FC is now the greatest expansion team in MLS history.
It's everything. Honestly, I mean, unless we can win the cup, it's the thing that the franchise is going to hang its hat on until it lifts more silverware. It'll be, we were the greatest expansion team ever. And they've earned that. They've had so much intentionality from the build at Singing Hills, Right to Dream, the roster build, the 18, Chrome Ball tour, us all finding out that there's 18 cities in San Diego County. All of us San Diegans who knew that, of course, because that's always been a thing. Don't worry, SDFC, that's always been a thing. We've all the way through. Remember the 18. You guys had to recite them, right, in elementary school? Like I did.
I pledge allegiance to the 18 of the San Diego County in America. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't forget National City. They would always throw it in at the end. Yeah.
You unincorporated folks, though.
No, you're out.
Lincoln Acres.
Helix, you're done. You're done, Helix. But yeah, it's great. Go ahead, Alex.
You like when you say like we're the greatest expansion team of all time. I can't help but think of Ricky, man, of just being like waving my hands and be like, we are the greatest expansion team of all time. Thank you. And yeah, like I can't help but think of the great Ricky.
Today I am the greatest of all time.
Yeah. And to be honest, like nothing, we're down in the MLS history books forever with that until someone else beats it. And for now, I don't think there's going to be any more expansion until they. Yeah, I think we're going to be sticking for 30 teams for a while, and we can't take the 60 points for granted either, guys. Like some seasons, it's not this one because it's way more competitive, but some seasons, I'm talking 2015, 2016, those were 60 points to get the top spot in the Western Conference. In 2017, it was 53 points. Like 21, 61, and even 2023 was at 56 points. So getting 60 points in your first season, that's a huge deal because that already means you're going to be one of the top teams like in your conference, on top of like you're going to be in playoffs and all that other stuff. But 60 points, huge for anybody, any season. Like that's such a remarkable thing to accomplish in year number one.
Go for it, Greg. Or
no, I said happy big. Yeah, your turn.
Mikey Barras, post-match with, you know, getting to just talk to him in these post matches, like you get to the sense of like, obviously when his tendencies, right? When he's really pissed, and he's like, his facial structure changes just in general. It's kind of spooky. But when he's in a delightful mood, like he wears it. And that's the thing about Mikey. Like he wears his emotions at all times. And this is some of the, you know, just some background. Waited about 45 minutes post match for them to say, hey, we need to get on a plane. So only one question for everybody. So context with that, no player made available because airplane. So Mikey Vadas post match, Houston 4-2 San Diego FC going and breaking the record for most away wins in MLS history, and now the greatest expansion team of all time.
Thank you for your time, Mikey. Can you just go ahead and walk us through this game, first half and second half, and the impact
recording in progress.
All of your substitutes had, Pellegrini, and then De La Torre and Willie at the end?
Yeah, so happy for these guys. We always talk about game changers coming in and making a difference because this is about the collective. It's not about one person or two people. It's not about me. It's not even about me. You know, I'm one small part of this huge project. And I'm just so happy for the guys who came on, including Alex Mighton, including Patty. Patty comes in and helps us really solidify closing out the game where they were kind of getting some chances right before. And then he just comes in like to really give us some solidity there. And, you know, the first half, I thought we were okay also. Like, they weren't creating big chances. We were just off a little bit in the discipline in our press, intensity in our press, a little bit with some passes and some movement. But I think from the get-go in the second half, it was clear that the group knew that we were going to turn this one around.
And then as a collective, you mentioned now SDFC is poised as probably one of the, if not the best expansion team with records now broken. What does it feel for you and the group to be part of that history now?
You have to celebrate that, man. You have to celebrate that. 60 points. Nobody can take that away from us. That's written down right now until somebody else breaks it. And that's a huge testament to these guys and how they work, how they believe in us, how they commit to being great teammates, to being top professionals, to showcasing their talent, to having that fighting spirit. And on top of that, we did it our way. We're here to win, but how we win and who we win with matters. And those guys exemplified that. And I think that you have to celebrate that. Of course, tomorrow we'll get back to focusing on our next steps, but tonight is about celebration.
You got to celebrate it, man. From Mikey Varas. You got to celebrate it. That's the loosest, just most like, USA. And, you know, you can feel it. I know you like that, Greg, a lot.
I loved it. I mean, I think the celebration was flowing freely throughout those clips, and it was exciting to see. And, you know, Mikey Varas he's a real one. And it's absolutely beautiful to have the opportunity to have him and compare and contrast him to the guy who continuously gaslights his fan base and the media and his community in Major League Baseball and just makes up stuff and creates straw men to defend and all these other things. And I'm sorry to turn it back. I did 2 hours on them before the hour here, but like he's such a breath of fresh air in that respect. And yeah, that was one of my more fun, amusing clips to see of Mikey all year.
My favorite clip, like real quick, was I like the little videos they do inside the locker room, because at the very end of one of them, you could see some of the players doing the Dale San Diego. Like, if for a fan that has, you know, been with this club since the very beginning, starting those chants, and now you see like the players also getting excited, they're doing it themselves, you know, it's just all of it's coming together in your first year. So that's really cool to see, because it kind of seems like the players also match the energy of the fans too, because they're, you know, we're all in it here together, and that's really cool to see.
The vibes are there. The vibes are here. They were at Mission Pacific Beach. You know, that was a pretty good event. I think the soft launch for potential away watch parties and what that's going to look like here for San Diego. Question here from Keegan: are we going to see Marcus and Varson in the last regular season match? Yes, we should see Marcus and Varson at least for some minutes to try to see what he has and what that's going to mean for him moving into playoffs. Because again, pound for pound in the season, the most impactful player has to be Marcus Varson, just because he hasn't played a lot. And, just if you trim the fat of that, then he's very important. So 15 minutes of a Marcus Varson in a go time situation, you throw him out there just to see what happens, but he needs to have, at least some sort of game time minutes under him moving in that direction. So hopefully that's still something that will happen for sure. But yeah,
I just looking back to where this whole season started, where everything started, them going scoreless against Columbus at home. It wasn't Columbus, it was St. Louis, right? Yeah, it was St. Louis was their first home match, but just from that moment thinking like, okay, this expansion team, they're going to be here, and to 60 points and top of the Western Conference right now with one game left is truly something that I don't think any of us would have predicted. And I think I'm going to remember this moment and this team in the pantheon of San Diego sports history for a while, just because of how many. I think a lot of the time it's like, is it about the destination or the journey, especially when it comes to sports? A lot of the time we always focus on that destination, that championship, but the journey of this season has been really fun to watch. Anders Dreyer, MVP season, being introduced to so many different players, such a different play style, and just fun. And I really didn't expect to enjoy watching MLS this much, but I think this season has been actually quite fun to watch.
God damn it. We failed to talk about Anders Dreyer getting a brace.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's standard protocol. It's protocol.
Yeah, I mean, he got 2 goals. Big deal. He got 2 goals.
Yeah.
I will say the penalty wasn't the best penalty.
Most convincing because, but all he is the penalty taker, guys. So I mean, something to practice going into playoffs.
He missed the penalty earlier on this season. This one also looked a little bit on the weaker side. But that's picking too many nits.
McVay also probably had his worst game of the season, but I mean, get it out in regular season time, not playoffs. So hey, look, facts are facts, but even then, they were able to rise above and win 4-2.
Yeah, even then, and even so. Amazing, guys. It's so much fun. And to see the way and I see all the fans in the comments right now, and some of our great supporters out there like Papi Chavo, like, just to see the way that this is built and what it has turned into and how it's become transportable. If Wave weren't playing on October 18th, I was going to buy a last minute plane ticket and get up to Portland. I really wanted to go, but that is fan appreciation night for the next team you're going to cover.
Last time the Wave didn't have the fan appreciation night, so you never know.
Oh, that's right, Craig.
Ouch.
They didn't get to do the Wave fan appreciation game.
The field's good this year. And from what we hear in the field,
It's
good this year.
Do you see what they're giving away? They're giving away a Wave hockey jersey. It looks sick. Like, it actually looks like legitimately sick. Like, Wave replica hockey jersey giveaway. First 10,000 fans, October 18th. They'll also be giving away a concession time goal. That's also expected to be given away somewhere between the 92nd and 99th minute. We should be allowing a goal. So look forward to that for San Diego Wave FC.
And I don't cover Wave or talk about them as much, but damn, did that hurt? That hurt me, like, right in the heart. Like, they had a point.
I watched the whole match too,
and it was just like the dagger, and it was But to finish up SDFC, the coolest thing about the fan base, they're going away to all sorts of places, Atlanta, you name it, Dallas, Chicago, and we're gonna finish up the season in Portland. And I can't wait to finish up the season with all the away fans. That's gonna be so much fun. Great times. The fan base just follows this team wherever they go, and you just see it from LAFC to San Jose. It's been great times. So far I've seen 2 wins. Might be 3.
I think we found the people that are invading Portland, though.
Well, that's a great point. So be safe, Alex. And
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
genuinely,
true.
it's kind of
make
scary
sure
right now.
you check in, as you know, check in with your Antifa commander,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
we all do. You know,
El
get
comandante.
your yeah. I mean, you know where to go.
Is that a
You
different
know,
language right there? You can't do that up there, dude. Just
yeah. Listen,
and yield on the frog costumes.
no, we only speak Sorosese
Okay.
when we
Okay.
check in, and on our Antifa check-in. So just get ready, because the war is coming to you.
Thank you, Keegan, for saying thank you for running the live stream. Yeah, we do this every single Monday here, and then Thursday is the CHROMANIACS with Craig and Alex, where we do previews, we do post matches here on SanDiego.Futbol. Is the place to be. So be a friend, tell a friend, subscribe, be part of all of that. But San Diego FC, is there anything that we're missing other than literally a brace like of for Dreyers?
In
Incredible.
international soccer, I believe the US U20s they advanced. So Luca Bombino and Pedro Soma and Durant Free could potentially be out for the Portland game as well. Most likely, I would assume they're going to be out. I think technically they can like lose and then not end up, but I would assume they're going to be out. They've been the US has looked good. The U20s look good. Mexico U20s looked really good. I don't know if you saw that.
Papi Mexico.
Yeah, Gilberto Mora is like just looks like a man amongst children, even though he's like shorter than all of them.
Yeah,
It's kind of hilarious, and he's on the younger side for the U20. It's U20s are cool if you guys want to watch that. International soccer wise, I don't know. Are you into international soccer right now, or are you just over it?
I'll watch it. Like again, like I recuse myself from any Bombino just discussions because for me, it's not good that he's not here in San Diego because he's helping the U.S., which is anti-Mexico supporter. So like it's kind of weird for me. If you want to watch good soccer, I guess watch MASL coming up.
Hey,
you won't see
I know where the best team is.
Yeah, appealing from
I know where the best remaining team is.
not in Mexico for sure.
Nope, no sir, no.
But all right, San Diego FC will be going up to Portland. There is an international break. There are international players going and representing San Diego FC and La Mayor on the major team. Is it the main team in English? How do you say that? Is La Mayor?
It's
The main
first
roster?
team.
First team?
Not senior national.
Yeah.
Senior national.
Senior national. Yeah.
The national team. Like that's it makes sense for me in Spanish. So again, all health and wellness for all of these players. That's the one thing that can
Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Don't put it in the universe at all.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Last time Patty McNair was.
Hey.
That
Sorry.
was him.
Abe.
Heard him.
It's the weirdest thing that we get an international break now and then we play in the playoffs and then if they advance there's another international break.
It's so bad.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. The season lasts forever. I actually think the preseason begins like the week after the MLS Cup. It's like
a month actually. Like
both of these teams, it's kind of crazy how long the season is. Maybe too long. But
yeah, because I remember it was the Red Bulls Galaxy final, and then just covering the first kind of things happening here in San Diego. It was like, wait, the season's already going to start. Like that's a crazy.
Coachella is like super close.
Like, Coachella Valley, Coachella Valley Invitational, 100%. It's kind of crazy. But playoffs are getting set. You know what? I've been entertained. I can't say I haven't. We'll see what this series of 3 entails, but there is one trip up to Portland